Hey everyone, welcome back. We're taking a look at a couple blurry knives today. But for now, we're going to be taking a look at this. This is the Gerber Flat Iron. It's a knife that has been very popular last year and in 2018. A lot of people like this knife. I don't know if I do, but let's go over it today. So the Flat Iron is a cleaver style knife. You've got that big 3.6-inch cleaver blade that's on it. It's very plain. You notice this side's a little bit different. So this side is made in a cast stainless, while this side is more of a refined, or not aluminum on this side. So that's probably a feature that I'm not a huge fan of. But let's get into some numbers while we're here. So okay, we're on Gerber's website. Gerber calls this the Bold Folding Cleaver. So we're gonna go over that. Comes in a couple different scale options. So it has a G10 option for this. You still get this on this side, so you're definitely gonna have the aluminum on this side. But on this side, or let's guess the left side, if you're holding it, you can get some different scale options. Again, there's options like G10 that comes in a desert color, a couple other options. Pocket cleaver is built for utility with a cleaver blade and a folding application. Uses a robust 3.6-inch blade, textured G10 composite, sturdy frame lock design. That's one of the first frame locks. Reverse curvature of the knife spine keeps knuckles away from hitting the surface, allowing it to cut and chop with precision. So overall length, and I know this is a little blurry, overall length is 8.5. Blade length again, 3.8, which is pretty good. So even my little baby hands, it's just a little bit bigger than that. The blade material is, rather than 8CR13 MOV or 8CR14 MOV, this is 7CR17 MOV stainless steel. Cleaver style, satin blade finish. I feel like this is also stone wash that's here, because one thing I really enjoy about this knife, it's not a fingerprint hog because it has that washed sort of aged finish. It is a frame lock knife, so the lock is again a part of the frame that's over here. This is sort of just a guard to prevent you from pinching that when you go to open the knife initially. So it's, rather than a liner lock that's built into the interior of this, you get a frame lock. So we'll close that. It's not too big open there. It's just just over 4 inches there. We'll take you around the knife. The knife is pretty well centered, I will say. I didn't expect too much from Gerber, but it is pretty well centered. You've got some back spacers here, pretty traditional. See if I can get a little bit of light in here. So you can see basically straight through, and that's fine. So you will get a little bit of lint in there. And then this is a thick, a beefy piece of steel up here. I mean, that's incredible. Let's take a look at another knife. This will be in the different video. This is a cheap little Ganzu knife, a little $20 carbon fiber knife. That'll be in a separate video. We're going to review this next. This is more of a pretty standard knife depth or knife blade width. So this is a pretty chunky chunk of metal that's here. The pocket clips, also another thing that I'm not a huge fan of. We'll go over that in a second. Let me continue reading on Gerber's website. It says, set yourself apart. Large finger choil. Okay. And then a thumb hole. Now, there's definitely a thumb hole that's here. I don't know if I would use that because it's not much of a thumb hole to open that. You definitely want to put a little bit of wrist into it to get it open. Personally, the way that I like opening it, because there's no thumb stud. Now, they are making a thumb stud version of this because I feel like Gerber's like Apple. They'll never make anything right the first time, except maybe the fastball. But the fastball was so popular, they're now starting to put flippers like that on everything. So no flipper on this. So what I'll actually do is I'll stick my index finger down there. Index finger will get it open. And then the bearings on this are pretty darn good. So you can kind of give it a little bit of wrist and open it in one action. Let's talk about the finger choil, because I don't know if it's entirely necessary. So the blade on this is pretty darn big. 4 fingers, 5 fingers. Again, if you've seen any of my videos, I've got little baby bitch hands. But even a person with medium or large size hands will be just fine with this knife. And I don't know if you'd be using this knife for any like precision tasks. It's cool. You might use it for some bushcrafting applications, but are you really going to need to get past this finger choil and get up towards the edge of the blade to do what? The choil is not terribly large. Again, I have small fingers. Barely fit in there, and this is still a pretty sharp edge here, so there's not too much flexibility on there. So somebody with a little larger hands, which it's basically everybody but me, I don't know if it's super usable. Okay, continuing on. Flat iron. They compare it against a couple knives. Anyway, price, we obviously haven't gotten over that yet. Price is $30, which is good. It's a little bit more. It's $34 if you want. The G10 version comes in a different handle variety. Oh, and another thing that I don't know. I mean, it's okay that Gerber's doing this because of this is pretty big in the EDC community, and that's what we're looking at here is a pretty popular EDC knife. It also comes with this for $44. So knife is $30. For an extra like $13, you get this. It's actually a little Gerber handkerchief. It's got, I guess I can unfold this. So it's a little handkerchief. It's got this octopus or this, I don't know what to call him, like a Leviathan looking octopus, and it's got some knives in it, which is kind of cool. A little like dagger looking knife, and then a little like Gerber paraframe or something like that. It's not bad. It's cool. You know, a lot of people are like, yeah, let me put all my EDC on my $100 hanky. This thing is super cheap, guys. It's not terrible because it folds into your pocket like super thin. It's kind of nice, so it's not like this super thick like Mighty Hank. But this thing is, I don't know if you can get it on camera. Let me get some more light in here. It's not going to really go on camera. Anyway, this thing is super see-through. It is super see-through. I mean, it is like tissue paper. So if you actually want to use it as a hanky or something like that, don't expect too much out of it. Anyway, so let's talk about my likes and dislikes of this. This has a couple reviews on Amazon. 405 reviews. It's pretty well reviewed. I'm just not a huge fan of it, and here's why. Let me get a little bit less light on this subject here. Anyway, this part of the knife, gorgeous. This part of the knife looks like a mess. Like, you couldn't do anything differently with this. This pocket clip is terrible. One, it is so tight. It's ridiculous to try to get this thing out of your pocket. And then when you go to grab it out of your pocket, you're basically like pinching down on the clip. Now, this is kind of clever. They've got this little cutout here so you can kind of get your finger in there and get it out of your pocket. But in terms of like real estate to like grab this thing out of your pocket, there's not a lot. Now, I've bent this a little bit. You really can't tell, but I bent it a little bit just to make it go in and out of my pocket a little bit easier. But this design, this like throw it together, aluminum on one side is a little bit weird. And I like symmetry in design. So if this was on this side, amazing. And maybe put a traditional pocket clip on here, not this goofy wide one. So it's a little strange. I'm not saying it's a bad knife. I love having a cleaver in my pocket. It is so cool. It is hilarious. It's a great size blade. Obviously probably not something for self-defense or something like that, but if you whip this out of your pocket, people are going to be like, what in the hell? Am I fighting a chef or something? So it's pretty cool. It's nice grind on the knife. The edge that it comes with is not crazy, but it's, cheap enough to sharpen it yourself. And again, for a $30 knife, I can't make too many complaints. So it was nice to pick this up. The hanky is okay. I've had it in my pocket for a couple of days. I don't really use it. I don't take little pictures of all my garbage on my $100 Mighty Hanks or something like that, but I understand that tailors to part of the community. So let me know what you think about the flat iron. Me, it's okay. $30, can't complain. Is it going in my pocket every day? Absolutely not. But will it spend some time in my pocket from time to time? Of course. It's a giant chunk of metal. It's beefy. It's got some weight to it. I do like that it's an all-metal design rather than G10, G10, G10 all day long. So let me know what you think. Again, we're taking a look at a couple other knives here in just a second. A little carbon fiber Ganzu Firebird knife. This is the FH61. And we're also taking a look at a big 4-inch beast in D2 from Effengrau. Anyway, stay tuned. We're taking a look at a lot of knives. It's new knife day here. Stick around.